I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man!
All right. That's it.
Okay. Awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to Archrivals Football. The names are on the screen. We have a call-in number tonight. Welcome. We're going to have fucking tons of fun tonight if we have people to call in.
It's Friday.
Obviously. It's Friday. I hope you guys all got what your drinks. I got my fucking usual Archrivals cup of coffee.
Wow, you daredevil, you.
Listen, like I said before, it's Reese's Creamer. I had to have a little bit of like a peanut butter taste of my coffee tonight. I'm good.
Oh well, that sounds disgusting, man. I hate Reese's peanut butter cups though. I think it's a candy that should be wiped off the face of the earth. I don't think peanut butter and chocolate should ever go together.
Well, it's funny that they sell more Reese's than they do the peppermint mints. You know?
That's true.
So, anyways,
getting into it.
We had a lot of fucking news from this week to start, but I think we are going to start off with my NFL fucking gripe from Tuesday where they said, quoting the Denver Broncos, we're going to kick their expletive whatever. And, man, that was a fucking ass whooping and a half last night.
Jesus, was it?
So, thank God for the NFL on that one because
all the Broncos fans' buttholes just loosened a little bit more, just so they could, they're not clenching so much.
Oh yeah, because we really needed that whole thing. But congrats to the Broncos on them actually backing their shit up for a change.
Yeah, for once. I can't say much though.
Well, the only thing I can really say is this, okay? There was news earlier this week, and I'm actually going to play one soundbite because it apparently just fits the entire thing, and I really hope my microphone picks it up. Earlier this week, there was an article. It came out after our show Tuesday night that there was speculation that Le'Veon Bell was supposed to be reporting to the Steelers for Week 7, even though that they're on the bye week. Mm-hmm. And now there is news stating that there's a possibility he might not be showing up this week. He'll be showing up sometime next week. So for Le'Veon Bell, this is for you.
Update. We still have no fucking clue where this guy is.
Oh, yes. That's basketball. Fucking love it.
Yes. But apparently Le'Veon is still MIA. Nobody's heard from him from the Steelers. So at that point, shit happens.
Exactly.
From my understanding also today, there was a trade in the NFL, and I kind of think this is a ridiculous little trade.
Ooh, a trade.
The Cleveland Browns traded running back Carlos Hyde to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 5th-round pick.
Really?
Jacksonville really must be that much in trouble if they not only signed Jamal Charles last week, have already TJ Yeldon on their roster, and now trade for Carlos Hyde from the Jaguars. I don't think Leonard Fournette is coming back anytime in the near future. They are tremendously overloaded at running back at this point.
Yeah. I mean, but Charles didn't really do anything for him last week.
That offense hasn't done anything for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't understand.
They are
why
in a
Carlos
3 weeks. They're in a 2. Well, they lost 2, right?
Yes.
So they're going into the maybe possibly the 3rd week of a slump. Who knows what's going to happen?
And I believe now at this point, after seeing that tremendous collapse last weekend, that the defense is completely demoralized. The offense is still not shown up. I think they probably got lost on the plane. That team is just in shambles. So to get Carlos Hyde, kind of a great idea because he's a great running back. However, at this point, I also looked at the Cleveland Browns, maybe just thinking that we're going to go with the young kids for now, try to save some salary, build up for more free agency during the year next year. Because trading your top running back, that doesn't look like a great fit at this point.
Well, no, but I mean they could be going to clear up some capital, like you said, to go free with free agents and possibly keeping trying to extend out Baker Mayfield because he's a free agent right now. How many years is he with them?
He's got 4 more years on his contract. He's on the 5-year rookie deal, and I believe Joe Mixon is still there. What his health is for this week, I have no idea because I haven't seen the injury report yet. But it almost in a way with Cleveland being 2-3-1, which is a better start than a lot of people expected. Again, the record could be a lot better with a 2-3 game swing. I wouldn't be freaking mailing in your season yet by trading your starting running back. That's a big key of your offense right there. And unless they have another backup plan for this whole trade, Carlos Hyde was only worth a 5th round pick. I don't kind of find that reasonable. Maybe it should have been a better pick, but I digress on that.
I digress. All right. What else do we got here in the news today?
We have the debate plus the injury report for one of our games on this weekend's schedule.
Okay.
Bill Belichick, during a press conference,
he hurt himself.
He hurt himself because he tried to smile.
Oh, yeah.
And he was questioned, where would you rank Khalil Mack, and could you compare him to Lawrence Taylor? He then replied, Khalil Mack is not even in the classroom with Lawrence Taylor. He's not in the vicinity. He's not even in the country. He's not in any region close to Lawrence Taylor. So that brought up a huge debate. And to honestly agree, it's 2 totally different eras. And we get into this debate all the time with the whole era thing that, for example, in basketball, LeBron is better than Jordan. In this case, they're trying to compare Khalil Mack to Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, I've never understood that whole, oh man, LeBron's the next Michael Jordan. Like, no, he's not, because LeBron is who he is because of Michael Jordan. Nobody was doing what Jordan was doing when Jordan did it. Like, what he did was, it was groundbreaking. He was just this balls to the wall player that would just defy all odds. And I'm sorry. I really don't think LeBron holds a candle to him, because what are you doing? You're just doing something that somebody's already done. You're good, but you're doing something. You're repeating what somebody else has done. Now you're even going to be in Space Jam 2. Okay, and you're wearing the number 23. The only reason you are who you are is because you idolize that person, and without him, there would be no you. So I don't think that he's better. I wouldn't say LeBron's better than Jordan. He's a great player, one of the greatest players to ever live. But is he a Jordan? Is he compared to Jordan? I don't think so. So Lawrence Taylor. I think guys like Mack are the guy they idolize that dude, and I think Mack's a great player. I mean, I think obviously he's fantastic, but he's not. It is a different era.
And obviously the game is played a lot differently as well, where in Lawrence Taylor's day and age, that was a lot more balls to the wall. There wasn't as many restrictions on penalties as you have now. Just think of it this way. Lawrence Taylor broke Joe Theismann's leg in a playoff game, and there was no repercussions of fines or penalties or suspensions back in that day. If you did that now, you'd be gone a whole entire season, not even mentioning what the fining would be.
But
All right, we should be back now. Okay.
all right. Well, there goes that.
So, so as I mentioned before, while we were trying to fix the technical difficulty, I think the man upstairs decided that I was wrong about Khalil Mack and LT, but we're not going to continue that conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we're gonna kind of leave that conversation alone now.
I guess so, but I Khalil Mack, he's still a good player.
Oh, definitely. I'm not doubting that. It's just that it's a really big debate, and I think after we do the recaps on Tuesday again, I think we can dive back into that, because obviously it's going to be a good game this weekend, and I think we should just delve right into them at this point.
Okay, 1 second. I'm doing a little bit of the sharing back to other groups here. Won't
All
take
right,
me very long.
So let me just see if we can get some. You know what? I'll get some other little tidbits in while we're doing this. The Cardinals did fire their offensive coordinator this week after the blowout loss to the Broncos.
Did they?
Yes. The Ravens did set another record of sacking Marcus Mariota 11 times. Apparently they're making that a huge thing in the news this week. Melvin Gordon is limited in practice with a hamstring issue. Titans offensive coordinator. We've been humbled the past 2 weeks. You think?
All right.
So,
well, I'm ready to go here. Let me just add a text to this one right here. I think that way people will know how to get a hold of us if they need be.
we still have the phone number there, right? So we should be good.
Yeah, I got. Oh, I'm putting it on the once we switch to the next screen here.
All right, I'm really just resend this all out real quick.
Okay.
At least I've figured out that sharing issue. And again, anybody watching, share the show.
Share the show. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I heard like a little flicker, and then everything on my computer just stopped. But I could still hear Ricky, and I could still hear Derek, and I could see them moving, but they couldn't see me or hear me.
Which is kind of freaky, but we.
See what God just did to us, man.
I'm telling you, it was a whole LT freaking Khalil Mack thing.
I guess.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to have an opinion on that.
And we had 10 people watching.
We'll get him back. Mr. D. Hay was sending out the signals, so we'll try to carry on.
God bless D. Hay.
And I just reshared it back that it was part 2, so we're good.
All right, so let's get into Friday's
picks. I have way too many screens open. This is how much research we do every day, right?
Hell yeah, that's my favorite soundbite that I have. All right. Here we go. For the first one we've got up on the on the ballot here is the Tennessee Titans versus the LA Chargers. What do you have on this one, Ricky? Tell me what you got.
Okay, so the Vegas odds right off the bat. Now, again, some of the games that we will pick, we will give you the under, over, and the line. The line does change. So if we give you a line for the game and it changes by Sunday, it's not our fault. Where we do get the odds is from VegasInsider.com. They've been on the money with a lot of their differences in scores and the under-overs. For example, last week their under-over for Pats Chiefs was 68. I raised it to 80, and my 80 totally covered because it was 83 points final.
Yeah.
So Tennessee and the Chargers has an under-over of 45, and Chargers laying 7 to the Titans. Right off the bat.
And this game is in Wembley, where last week the Raiders shit the bed. Just comically.
Now, obviously, we look at these numbers here for the rankings of offense, defense, passing, and rushing. Now,
they really don't mean anything.
Okay, so
they do.
I have dove into a few of the numbers, and San Diego is not really, according to NFL.com, in their next-gen stats, they're not in the top 5 in anything, which is prematurely weird because I'm looking at this here, and they don't have the San Diego Chargers anywhere in the rushing per game, passing per game, or total offense and defense. So these numbers that you see on here may be slightly skewed. Joey Bosa is supposed to be coming back this weekend for the Chargers. Again, Melvin Gordon, the running back for the Chargers, is going to have a hamstring issue. So he was limited in practice this week. I am going to go San Diego. I keep calling them the San Diego Chargers because it just never leaves the system. But I am going to go with the Chargers this week. I'm not laying any points on this. I'm thinking the Chargers are going to win this game outright.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win this game. The Titans haven't showed me anything that impressed me at all. So yeah, I'm gonna go with. I will also go with the Chargers.
Our producer also picked the Chargers.
All right, so Chargers all around.
He has infiltrated the picks, and he will now be listed. So he will get put down on the month for the overall season standings.
Okay.
All right.
Next we've got the Texans versus the Jags. Now, this is going to be a good game here, man, because obviously we talked a little bit about this. The Jags have not been doing so well. They're frantic right now in the rushing game. The offense is really hasn't been really doing that well at all in the last 2 weeks. They're in a slump right now. They're going against the Texans, who just won last week. So they're in this is a league game, isn't it?
This is a division game. The only issues, again, I talk about the defense. They walked out of that game last weekend, and for the first time, I think, in Jalen Ramsey's career, homeboy was speechless. He almost turned into like Charlie Chaplin in the locker room when he was interviewed in front of his locker. He could not answer any questions. He had no clue. I don't think he even knew he was in the locker room of the stadium, to be honest. If Jacksonville's defense, those 3 levels of that defense, if they cannot figure it out with all of the miscommunications, the Texans are going to blow the doors off of them.
I agree with that one.
The Texans have not been a solid team at all at this point either. Their offense has been a little bit stagnant. The defense, yes, is picking it up. There are a few key pieces on the defense banged up. Vegas odds on the Texans-Jaguars just so happens to be not in the order that they have it on the screen, which is crazy.
I thought the Jags had lost two. I didn't know. I forgot they lost 3.
And this is going to be a dire game for the Jaguars.
This is a make or break game.
So believe it or not, Jacksonville is laying 4 under over 43.
All right, there we go. There's that. Mitro says that the Jags are going to lose because they have a stupid animal. A Jaguar is not a stupid animal. It is a big cat. I mean, it is a mean, ferocious. Jaguars actually have the hardest bite force of the cat their jungle cat family. They can crush your skull with one just like it's a Pez.
The only thing I think of for this game here is, and again, watching all these games and previews and everything else, Jacksonville has 2 brand new running backs, technically. First off, that Carlos Hyde trade, he's not going to be ready for this weekend, so he's not dressing.
Yeah.
There is no way you're going to prep him in a day and a half for a 1:00 game on a Sunday. Weather may be a very key part to this, being the fact that the game is in Jacksonville. It's going to be kind of warm. 72 degrees for Jacksonville is pretty decently warm. I really want to aim toward the Texans. I think they're going to be a little more solidified. They still have that really great front half of their defense. So if Blake Bortles is going to be in the state of confusion, I probably am going to go with the Houston Texans getting 4 points.
Man. I think I'm going to have to go with that too. I think I'm going to stick with Jacksonville. I think Bortles pulls it out. I'm going with Jacksonville on that one.
All right,
because they have a stupid animal.
Well, you and Mitro can duke it out in Phoenix when we.
No, it's a Jaguar versus a cow.
Well, actually,
Jaguars eat cow. Well, it's still a cow. It's a bovine.
Our producer is laying down the Jacksonville Jaguars for his pick this.
He knows what's up.
This next one is going to be a doozy. The next one is a rematch of the NFC Championship game from last year. The Minnesota Vikings versus.
Well, you skipped one.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, it's Carolina. Sorry, Carolina versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, I believe this was a playoff. No, was it a playoff game last year? I don't remember. That whole playoff was really fucked up to me.
No, the last time they played, it was in October 12th of 2017.
Okay, so the Vegas odds on this one is under over 45. Philadelphia laying 4.
Ooh. Let's see how they match up here. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think this is a pick 'em type of game, man. I really don't see. What are your thoughts on it? Because I really don't see anything that's really that impressive about it.
Well, according to this, and I'm gonna double check this and make sure that this is the right list. Okay, it is the right list. All right. Philly is ranked 2nd in rush defense.
They are.
They're not too high up on the passing defense, however. And that's the one thing that I really wish that the people at NFL.com would do instead of us having to just go on these base numbers. But that's why we're what we do. To honestly say at this point, both teams have been up and down.
Yeah, they have. I think it's in Philly.
Yeah, the game is in Philly. Obviously, the weather is going to be in the 50s, partially cloudy, maybe a little wind here or there. I don't think that the weather is going to be the issue. I think the fact is Philly's run game is going to be real great because it's basically going to be the run game versus the run game.
Yeah.
That's where I really see this.
Both teams really aren't that great at passing. I'm going to probably go for Carolina. Because Maito says they have the pretty uniforms.
Well, they're wearing the road uniforms, so
Oh,
they're
it's
either going
white
to be
uniforms?
wearing. Their road uniforms, I believe, are either going to be the black ones or the bright blue ones.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm definitely going to go with them. I don't know why I'm basing my pick off of the color of the uniforms.
To honestly tell you, I don't even know that on that part.
But she's been right twice last week.
Yeah, and again, if you actually somehow get in touch with her to get picks, she does have the weirdest way of picking games. However, she has been correct, so you might want to pay her after you make your picks. I honestly will say that I think the Eagles are actually going to do something this week.
You think they're going to?
I think after they beat up those New Jersey Blueberries on Thursday Night Football, that they got a little bit more momentum in their season. Wentz still doesn't have a full game underneath him. However, I think the rushing attack is a little bit better than what everybody expects, even though there's no J.J. I'm going to probably go Philly.
All right. Well, what did Derek say?
Our producer picked. I had so many locks on my phone. He actually picked Carolina.
All right. See, he knows what's up. Okay, so next week, now you prematurely went into it, but here we are.
Well, because I got the freaking goddamn purple uniform stuck in my fucking head. Thank you very much.
All right, the
However,
3-2-1 Vikings versus the 3-3 Jets.
However, they are not wearing purple this week. They'll be wearing white.
Oh, well, that makes all the difference.
That is the Vikings do wear the white for the road uniforms. So there's no picking a purple fucking uniform this week.
They still got purple helmets.
It doesn't matter. You have to have the whole purple ordeal. Kirk Cousins is having a halfway decent season this year in Minnesota.
He's doing quite well.
Okay.
That tie.
Yeah, that's high. Otherwise, that's another team with a defense that's not been real consistent. Not from last year's playoff run defense has that team been consistent. They're not really high up on a lot of the actual broke down categories. Dalvin Cook is still questionable on whether he's actually going to play in this game. So you're going to see a lot more of Latavius Murray.
Stay train.
The Jets secondary, however, it was almost like when Ryan Howard got his Achilles shot out by the squirrel in the playoffs a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that the Vikings offense may be very beneficial in MetLife this weekend.
I think so too. I don't see the Jets taking it to the Vikings at all. I really don't. And they have purple helmets. I just don't like the New York Jets.
Well, it's crazy because I've picked the Jets the last 2 weeks and they won. So.
Oh, you're going with the Jets then?
I actually have a feeling that I'm seeing it now that there's still a lot of questionables, but the Jets are going to be without their number one receiver this weekend. Enunwa he's already been listed as out. 2 members of their secondary are listed as out. However, they do have Terrell Pryor, who is not a bad receiver. He's a better receiver than he is a quarterback.
He was a shit quarterback, I'll tell you that for goddamn sure.
Vegas is
let's
giving
hope Terrell
this game.
Pryor gets a leg broke this week. I've got some beef with that guy. I'm just joking. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Just don't be listed as a sniper that blows his leg out in his hands. Right?
I'm just saying, if it came down to it and he got hit really, really hard, I wouldn't cry.
So Vegas has Minnesota dropping 3 to the Jets and under over 47. A lot of these games to start are going to have very small margins of lines in between of them. Our producer, however, is going with the New York Jets.
Oh, he's going with the Jets. I'm the only one going with the Vikings?
Again, my my whole thing is just
haven't
not
made your
out on
pick
this
yet.
game. Like it's. I have a feeling Minnesota's offense is going to take off this weekend. That's my whole key question. Is how well is that defense going to really step up? All right, you know what? I think I am going to go with the Minnesota Vikings.
All right. We're going with the Vikings. So it's 2 to the Vikings. Derek doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, so now we go down. Oh, well, here we go. He's probably going to have a lot to say about this one.
Oh, he might want to chime in if he wants on this one.
Soldier Field, Sunday, October 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern. The New England Patriots versus the Chicago Bears.
So the only thing is that I will be up at 12 p.m. on Sunday.
Will you?
And I think right before this game starts, I'm going to hope and pray that Derek might be awake. And I will be nice. I will wish him luck in his game against the New England Patriots at Soldier Field, if that's even what they call it.
Are you going to send him by wish him luck? You're going to send him a picture of your balls or your taint?
I might gooch pick. I might. I'm not sure yet because I haven't figured out that camera angle. However,
it's a tricky one.
The Patriots were pushed up to second in the power rankings this week. And the first number 1 team obviously was the LA Rams. So the Patriots have been averaging 39 points a game. Again, Khalil Mack is questionable a game time decision for this game. If Khalil Mack does not play in this game, the Pats are waxing them.
And he's not a big fan of Tom Brady.
Well, there again, we try not to delve into that whole conversation that we had earlier because I think God might strike the fucking stream down. But again, these numbers, these defensive numbers for the Pats are kind of, again, skewed because you saw what they did to Kansas City in the first half of the game. And once they got a lead, you knew they were rolling. Chicago should have beat Miami last weekend.
They should have. They really should have.
And this is another one of those teams should be 5-0, but is only 3-2. They're coming off their bye week. No, they're not coming off their bye week. Sorry, never mind. But at the same rate, the Bears are not stabilized at this point. So obviously I'm going with the Pats. The under-over on the game for the Pats
of course
is
you are.
50.
I think it's going to be that close.
The Pats have been scoring 39 points a game the last 3 games.
Jesus. Man, Trubisky's got his work cut out for him.
Okay, now apparently I'm frozen. If I'm frozen, don't worry about it. As long as you guys can hear me, I'm cool. I don't know why.
Goodness gracious, man. I've got... How about now?
Oh, now I'm moving again. Now
okay.
I'm moving.
Okay.
All right. So the line for the game is Pats laying 2.5. Now, I actually heard on the radio earlier today that the Pats were spotting 7. So Vegas has dramatically changed in the last few hours. And if they really think the game is going to be that close, then that means, in all probability, Khalil Mack is playing. If he's not playing, that line's going to 7.
Okay. So, you got the Pats. Man, that's a big if, man. If Khalil Mack plays, I think I don't know, man. It's I'm gonna go with the Pats. I don't see them taking the Patriots down. I don't see him taking Brady down. He's starting to hit his rhythm, and like he always does. And I think the Pats are gonna go for it. What is producer? Let me guess what Derek says. The Bears.
Yes.
Of course. Of course he did. Of course he did.
I'm not, and I'll be honest with you, I will not gloat after the game is over to Derek. I am staying at his house.
That's
And
half the fun,
probably
though,
try to-
man.
he'll probably try to castrate me while I sleep.
Oh, I doubt it. Okay.
So
here we go.
should we
Hey,
move
on
to the
those two
butt-fuck game?
losses, the Patriots
Oh, here he goes. He
lost.
can shut up.
How bad did they lose?
Oh, they didn't lose bad at all.
Because the Bears literally lost 2 games by like one final drive. I think field goals both games, unless the Packers scored a touchdown.
I'll definitely double check into that, and then we can always
Bears the
converse.
best. Fuck you both.
I always love his insights. Bears are the best. Fuck you both.
All right, so we're gonna move to the butt fuck game.
The butt fuck game.
Now,
Oh, everybody likes the butt fuck game.
You want some dick?
yeah, exactly. So it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Indianapolis Colts. Game is in Indy. People in fucking Vegas are smoking some real great doobage.
Are they? Well, I mean, it was legal last year. I'm sure they are.
Vegas is giving the Buffalo Bills 7 points and stating that the under-over is 42.5 for a game in Indy. Now, obviously, you look at the standings. Buffalo has 2 wins. They just signed another quarterback,
Yeah.
which meant that they ultimately believed that their backup quarterback is worthless.
Why
So
haven't
they signed former Carolina Panthers quarterback Derek Anderson to start the game midweek this week.
Oh my lord.
They signed him, I believe it was Wednesday. Andrew Luck still has a damaged offense. This
Yeah.
one here, in my opinion, okay, I'm going with the Colts. The Colts have pissed on me before because I've picked them twice, and they blew the pooch away. Buffalo.
I'm going to go with Buffalo on this one. God, both these teams are terrible.
And we, you know what? I listened to a lot more commentary on this week in the NFL, and I really did do a lot of prep for this week.
Yeah.
Buffalo doesn't have a lot of bad players. It's just that they just cannot get it together. That's what I
They
see.
don't have bad players. They just have bad teamwork.
Their coaching just may be miserable.
It could be. It very well could be. I know what that's like. Gruden.
But our producer has also picked the Buffalo Wings
The
to
Buffalo
win
Wings.
again.
I like wings, so I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Okay.
Oh, Buffalo has butts in their uniforms. Better butts. Mitro says better butts. So we're going. There's 3 for Buffalo.
She has not seen a Buffalo Bill thing the entire year yet.
Yeah, but as long as she sees their butts, that's all that matters.
Unless she's studying fucking pictures on Google for the games, I don't know.
You never know. She could be. I don't know what she does in her spare time.
Okay.
Here we-
There's a lot of time in between baking, so maybe there is a fucking little bit of a Google search
You know
going
what?
on for pictures.
I can just imagine that that thought in her mind. You know what? I wonder what the Buffalo Bills players look like in their pants. Oh, they've got nice butts. They're gonna win.
Yeah, pretty much.
Trends going Colts. Excuse me, Sean.
Oh, I'm
Sean's
going
going
the Colts.
too. So it's 3-on-3 on that one.
Okay, that kind of works. I can't even see comments at this point, so there they
That's
are.
fine. It's now next up. We've got the Browns of Cleveland versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. God, Derek got me saying bunch of queers, and I don't like to say that, but it sticks in my mind.
You should have just seen the expression on his face after you just said it. He almost fell out of his chair a little bit.
It's stuck in there every time I see him now. Anyways, the Browns versus the Buccaneers. I just
All
slow
right,
down
so-
to say it too.
Vegas odds has this game at 48.5. Tampa Bay laying 3. Again,
Ooh.
I'm going to regurgitate the situation of them not having Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
I feel it's a huge loss, almost to the feeling that Cleveland's mailing it in. 6 games into the season, yeah, we're gonna send off Carlos Hyde. I don't agree with this deal. I don't think that it's a beneficial move to them. This is where a lot of the issues come across now, because unless they're going to rely on Mixon in the backfield, and they have another running back that they're really going to be able to rely on, you are going to be killing Baker Mayfield in the backfield. I almost feel like it's a huge mistake.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah,
Although-
they were like had one of the best rushing offenses too.
Yes. And I believe Carlos Hyde was in the top 5 in rushing at one point. So
Trin says Nick Chubb's going to go off.
see, that's a thing though. It's a rough situation, because now you're changing your rotation in the backfield. Cleveland doesn't have a lot of bad spots. Their defense is not as bad as everybody thinks it is. So it's really difficult to do this. Although it is Jameis Winston, and he is the NFL's leading turd burglar. He is now a career 1-6 after eating that W shit. It just doesn't, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't sit right with me for some reason. This might be another one of those games that you could just wipe your ass and have a pick.
So, if you wiped your ass, what would come up? But now you're bringing in other factors into this game, though.
Okay.
Because
so,
every time, like when I want to politely tell somebody I'm going to take a shit, I say I'm going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. So that being said,
but then you'd be picking the Cleveland Browns then.
well, I mean that's what you pick when you wipe your ass, right? So,
Well, this okay.
on that notion, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns.
I was actually going to say that I was going to walk into the bathroom, and if it was a darker color, I'd pick Jameis Winston and the Bucks. If it was a lighter color, I'd pick the Cleveland Browns.
Jesus, make us there. Why don't you?
Well, I was going to do that, but unfortunately, I don't have a turd at the gate, and I can't really pick that way. I have kind of a hatred for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, being the fact I was in Tampa Bucks country for an amount of time, and those fans are just not smart.
Well,
So I'm also going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
It's Florida. Of all of us who've lived there, none of us have anything great to say about it.
Exactly the point. And our producer has also picked the Cleveland Browns.
Florida. You suck.
All righty. So,
oh man, well there went our, wow, we have apparently a lot of people in Florida watch this and we just dropped down.
I don't know. It just weirds people out, I guess.
All right.
Then again, we just talked about the Bucks and the Browns.
That's
so.
true.
All right.
All right. I think this is like my second favorite team of really. I like these guys a lot. The Detroit Lions versus the Miami Dolphins. Now the Lions have won the last 2 meetings. Granted, that was 4 years. The last one was 4 years ago, and the time before that was in 2010, 8 years ago.
Yeah, so this is on the 4 year string.
Yeah.
Interconference games. I don't. All right, so my feeling is that I believe Matt Patricia is going to have a little bit more of an edge in this game, being the fact that he's seen the Miami Dolphins 2 years for the fucking entire longevity of his Patriots defensive career. That's probably where the key is going to be. Detroit's rush offense is still not there really. Their numbers are not that phenomenal. I mean, it looks like that they're high up on there, but
yeah, their numbers haven't been great. Dolphins are doing pretty swell. They did just beat the Bears.
But this was also a game that the Miami Dolphins should have lost.
Yeah.
The fumble at the goal line was crucially bad for them just to begin with. I don't know why, again, they decided to run the ball into the end zone. I don't believe the Dolphins were trying to be a smart ass. If Brock Osweiler is the quarterback in this game, they may be okay. But I honestly don't think that the Dolphins are really that great without Ryan Tannehill.
Okay, so you know where I'm going. You know who I'm going with.
You're gonna go with the big furry cats.
The big furry cats, the kings of the jungle. Although they've never been to a Super Bowl, I'm going with the Detroit Lions. I also think they have pretty uniforms.
Our producer is going to go with the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, of course, because they beat him. So his team's the best. So if they beat his team, they've obviously got to be better.
My question is how much tuna has Derek had in the last week since that happened?
That's a very personal question, Rick, and I'll thank you to keep your questions to yourself.
All right. I honestly think that maybe I will give the Miami Dolphins a shot, even though this is a team in my division, but we're not kind of looking at it that way. I really honestly think if the Dolphins don't have as many mistakes as they did last week, especially like a crucial fumble at the goal line, I believe the Dolphins might be okay. This is going to be a rebound game from them. I believe they lost 3 in a row. Or 2 in a row?
2 in a row.
So this is going to be one of those.
They won. They lost this last week.
But they lost 2 out of their last 3.
Yeah.
So I feel it's still going to be kind of like one of those bounce back games for them. So I'm going to go with the fish.
You're going to go with the fish. All right.
And basically with the Vegas line, they're only doing a 1-point swing and an under/over of 47. So that's not saying very much for either
But
team.
Tannehill's not playing, is he?
Even if he's not playing, I still feel Osweiler had a sick game passing wise last week. He threw for over 300 yards.
Yeah.
So he obviously can control that offense. I just don't. It's got to be mistake-free football for them. That's got to be the crucial thing. They cannot have as many mess ups in the end zone like they did against the Bears. That's the whole thing, and I'm hoping that swings. To be honest,
I've got faith in the Lions, even if no one else does.
Well, for this next game, however.
All right. This is going to be a good one.
This is a very, very crucial stat that a lot of people do not know about the history going into this game. Obviously, if you're looking at the screen, you're going to see that Baltimore has won their last 3 meetings against the New Orleans Saints. However,
and they've always been and have they always been in Baltimore though?
Yes.
Oh.
For some reason, Baltimore never goes to New Orleans.
Well, have you ever been to New Orleans? The city's got a smell to it.
I don't go there for the smell. I only go there for the football. So we just leave it at that.
And Bourbon Street, and you can get really, really hammered, which everybody knows I like that.
Yes, that is quite true. But here is the 2 key things that happen in this game. Drew Brees, for his career, has only beaten 31 out of the 32 NFL teams. And just so happens, Drew Brees is a career 0-5 against the Baltimore Ravens.
And they're the only team they've never beat.
The Ravens are the only team that Drew Brees has never beaten in his NFL career. He is a career 0-5 and has never had great numbers against the Baltimore defense.
Really?
So this game here obviously is not only crucial for the division match, the division race for the Saints, but also at the same rate, this is another crucial game for the Baltimore Ravens, who are now being chased by the Pittsburgh Steelers because now the Steelers are rolling. The only beneficial thing is that the Steelers are off this week. So they will gain a half game if the Ravens do win.
What's the over-under?
The over-under for Saints and over-under is 50.5.
How?
Baltimore laying 2.5 to the Saints.
How do you lay 2.5 points?
Basically, let's just up it to 3. Let's say it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, let's round up. I mean, it's
Okay.
a 3-point game because I mean, it's physically impossible to get a half a point. I don't even know why they would do like, we'll give them 15 or 50 or 2.5. Like, what? That's not even a spread. So if they got 2, they didn't cover the spread.
To honestly tell you, this could be one of those 22-20 games where these numbers are kind of gaudy. The Saints don't have a real great defense.
No.
But you're also dealing with probably one of the best defenses in the NFL in the Baltimore Ravens. If you are a fan of defensive football, you watch the Ravens games. Their offense is not always consistent, but their defense is off the handle.
And they are pretty fantastic.
And this is one of the teams that I really would want to see against the Rams. Because I think that would
or
be...
the Chiefs.
And that Chiefs game is, I believe, coming up later on this year, too. So that's going to be even more interesting. In my opinion, this game might actually be a slugfest.
So are you just going to pick them, or...
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going with the history that this is the team that Drew Brees cannot beat. This is where I really feel with that 0-5 thing. He's gotten that whole passing record off of his chest now. Again, if he does actually win this game, then he will be one of few quarterbacks that have beaten all 32 teams in the NFL. I just don't think this weekend is his. I really don't feel that it's going to be happening. And it might just happen next year. Or the year after.
I don't agree. I think he broke records this year. He broke a record last week, right?
Yes, that was the passing record.
He broke the passing record last week. I think he breaks the record. His own personal record of beating every single team in the NFL this weekend. I've got faith in Drew Brees. I didn't have faith in the Saints at all at the beginning of the season. I thought they were just going to be shit. But they're 4-1 right now. I think Drew Brees is a fantastic quarterback. And I do think that they've got a really good passing game. So I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
What do we got for a old smelly turd?
He is also going with the Saints go marching in.
The Saints go marching in. Old Dixie. All right. So we've got that. Up next, we have
the 4 o'clock games.
The 4 o'clock games have started. There's only 2 this week because for some.
Well,
there's
we have
4 buys.
There are 4. There's four teams on a bye this week.
Yeah.
So it's the Cowgirls and the Indians.
Now, don't call them the Indians. They prefer to be called Native
They have
Americans.
an Indian on their helmet.
It's a Native American. It's a Native American, Ricky.
Because I don't like either one of these teams. But unfortunately, we have to sit here and talk about them and analyze the game.
So, a funny story about the Redskins. When I was a wee lad, my mom went to D.C., and for like some conference, and she wanted to bring me back a souvenir, and she brought me back a Redskins uniform. Hated it.
Believe it or
Hated it.
not, I actually have 3 of them in my collection.
But you've got a collection. Don't you know the kid when they had the little kids uniforms? You know you were
Oh,
dressed up
with
for Halloween.
the little plastic helmets.
Yeah. So she
Yeah,
brought me
right.
back one of those. I still have the helmet. But
Obviously, you
it
can't even
just
get your big toe
stayed in the toy box. Constantly, unless like one of because then my dad got me a Raiders one, and obviously like she felt kind of burnt because I had I used the Raiders one all the time and never used hers, and we would like play like football in the yard. I mean, we're like 5 or 6, you know. But so I would whenever one of my friends came over and I didn't like, they were like, "Oh, I want to use the Raiders one." I'm like, "No, dude, that's mine. You use the Washington one because you're stupid." And I was like, "Oh, so your friends get your leavings?" And she was really burned by that. I was kind of an asshole. But my dad,
Kind of an asshole. Or
my dad looks at he's like he's like the Raiders for like the past 2 years. Why would you get him another team? Well, I wanted to get him a Cowboys when we went to Dallas, and he's like, "Why would you do that?"
So you weren't technically into full-fledged asshole. You were only partially there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just knew that the Raiders were my team, and I didn't like anybody else.
All right. So we look at these matchups. Obviously, it's lopsided, the head-to-heads. Dallas has won 3 out of the last 4. This is the division game. Philly's going to have that tough game against the Carolina Panthers. This is going to be almost like the creme de la creme of division games for the weekend.
Yeah.
To me, I went balls to the wall last week when I picked those Cowboys against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Don't ask why. I just felt at some point that was going to be the issue.
The levee was going to break.
Yes. And I don't know why it happened, but it did. I'll be honest. I went with the Cowboys, having the feeling after they had pretty much got smushed by the Texans in that brawl of a game that they had 2 weeks ago, which I still can't get out of my head with the DeAndre Hopkins thing. But Dallas is actually starting to show something now. Ultimately scary. Again, these stats are skewed, man. Dallas's offense is not great, but they showed something against the dysfunctional Jacksonville defense.
They did.
Their passing team is miserable, but the only thing they have is Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott running the ball.
Yeah.
I was wrong last week about not picking the Redskins.
You were.
Horrible. Yes.
I think I picked the Redskins last week.
All right. Now, did my screen disappear or something?
I don't know. That's not. I can't see your screen.
I don't know. But it's
no, I think Derek hung up.
Oh.
I don't know. I think I made him sad.
I'm not sure.
Anyways.
So now you're going to see double screen. I'm a new screen. Anyway.
No, you just have to click on Ricky's.
Oh, yeah. Well, goodness gracious.
Fucking
He is
dumb.
still here.
It's like playing cards with my sisters.
With your sister's kids? I don't know where Ricky's screen is.
Oh, shit.
There it is.
There we go.
There we are.
Right, the show has gone freaking dysfunctional again.
I guess. Might as well. I mean, it's been a shit show since we started it. So.
That's okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, so basically Vegas has got another 1-point game. Washington giving Dallas a point. That's pretty much what it's looking at. And the under-over for the game is 42. So, again, there was a lot of lines for the games were really, really close. They were either a point, 2 points, or 3 points. Unless your team stunk like fucking donkey dick, then you got a lot of points for your team. But I'm not going to underestimate the Washington Redskins this game.
I don't think I'm
I'm
going
not.
to either.
Cousins was there the last few years. Now it's Alex Smith.
Yeah.
So is Alex Smith still that upgrade? Is their run game still really that potent? I'm probably just.
But
gonna go
are
with
we
the
going to get? Are they going to get Smith this game? That's the thing.
This I don't know.
If you get Smith, then the Cowboys kick the shit out of him.
I really think that the Redskins are going to show up. They're playing underrated football, and they're pretty much. First off, let's just mention that this entire division is garbage.
That is true.
Garbage.
This is very true.
Every team is either at 500 or just under 500. We still have to talk. We still have to talk about those lowly little blueberries playing on Monday night, but we'll get to them eventually.
We got to hear about them. I'm going to go Redskins. I am going to go Redskins. I'm just, man, I don't know. Actually, I think I'm going to change. I'm going to go Dallas because I don't trust Alex Smith.
And our producer is going Washington as well.
Oh, well, I'll stand alone and by myself.
All right,
I'm going to go with the Cowgirls, even though I hate them so much.
It's a freak pick. That's it. When they have the line at like a point, they should just say pick, and that's it. But Vegas has it as 1 point thing. I don't know why.
All right, so next up we've got, now I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this game.
Well, I am gonna say that these two teams do dramatically hate each other.
They do.
They really do hate each other, and if you pull up the next screen with the 49ers, as crappy as they have been, have won 2 out of the last 3 meetings against the LA Rams. Now, this is another division game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I believe that the last game that they had, Jimmy G was their quarterback in December of last year. So it's not traumatically bad when your backup quarterback goes toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football. The 49ers may not be totally dead yet. This may be one of those upset specials. And the only reason
wake their ass up sometime. I mean, if they're going to like, really.
Well, how many teams do we have going right now that are vying for a number 1 pick in the NFL draft?
I think 3. 4.
And we have the standings set up for the I'll get the standings. It's all right.
Well, we already know the Oakland Raiders are in there. The 49ers are in there. And the Arizona Cardinals.
And the Giants.
And the Giants. So there's 4.
So there's already 4 teams that are vying for the number 1 pick. Vegas has this game at 53 under over, and the 49ers getting 10 points. Now, I actually will agree with Trin on this one. I really think that this could be upset special. Only reason why is you look at these points for the last 3 games. The games have been
Colts aren't even. We're not even talking about the Colts.
The Rams. I mean,
I know, but he said the Colts get their first. He said Rams get their first loss, and then he said Colts. Oh, he wants the Colts over. I don't think he put a pick in on that one. He wants Colts over Texans. Or no, who do the Colts play? The Colts play. No, the Colts.
The Colts are playing the Buffalo Wild Wings.
The Buffalo Wild Wings. So he picks the Colts over the Wild Wings.
All right. I'll have to figure out how to fit that in. I only have so many columns on this page.
Oh, the Colts are 1-5 too.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. Okay. So there's 5 teams.
So at this point right now, this could be the Rams' first loss. This will probably be the game that I actually do go with the Vegas line of the 49ers getting 10 points.
So you're going 49ers?
I'm going the 49ers with points.
All right. I think I'm going to go with the Rams. I like the Rams, man. I'm liking what they're doing. They're in California, so they're another California team, so I don't like them. But there's two California teams. I hate the 49ers. I think the next game we have is the Battle of the Bay. Holy shit. How'd that happen? But anyways, the last official Battle of the Bay. But I think the Rams are going to do it, man. I have a lot of faith in this team this year, and so I think the Rams are going to go 7-0. 7-0. You heard it here. 7-0.
All righty. Sunday Night Football.
All right, the Bengals at the Chiefs.
Now, this is the Chiefs' second week on Sunday Night Football. Last week, Mahomes did show he can be on the big stage only after he gets a thumb out of his ass. Because that's pretty much what happened after the first half of the game on Sunday night, is that they pulled the plum out of Mahomes' ass, and he was actually able to play football. Not being partial or anything, but the defense obviously has not moved up on that evolutionary scale. According to the Bengals numbers, they are not far behind the Chiefs on the evolutionary scale. However, this is going to be one of those games where Cincinnati is definitely going to be tested.
Yeah. They're gonna have to eat their Wheaties for this one.
I think they're going to have to roid up because
I don't condone roids, but if I were gonna go play the Chiefs, and my team was 4-2, I might put some shots in my butt. Just saying.
Well, at this point here, Kansas City Chiefs are up there in offense. There are too many. I don't unless not Kansas City's, Cincinnati's front four gets motivated, and now two teams have put up this blueprint for how to technically slow down
The Chiefs.
Not every team is going to be able to do this either.
No, but that was Denver and New England.
And the Pats. They gave you the first half success on how to slow down the Kansas City Chiefs. Painfully, I'm making my pick very quickly on this. It's going to be a bounce back week for the Kansas City Chiefs. Vegas is laying. Oh, they didn't even want me to get the pick. Over 58.5. Again, it's another
Chiefs will
half.
probably score 40-something points.
Kansas City laying 6.
Trin says Chiefs by 7. I'm going to go with Kansas City on this one. I'd like to be pleasantly surprised by the Bengals, but enough talking. I mean, I'm done with the whole blowing smoke up Mahomes' ass because he's great. He's a great quarterback. But there's so many other. He played against a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I want to say that again. He's a good quarterback. This is his first year playing. Well, I guess his first year starting. He went up against a great quarterback and got his ass kicked. Not kicked. They won by 3. But he was he saw what a great quarterback is and what it takes to be a great quarterback. That being said, he's very, very good for a young kid. And I don't think he would be quite as successful without the weapons. And I know we talk about him, but I know a lot of people don't talk about him. He's got Travis Kelce, he's got Tyreek Hill, and he's got Kareem Hunt. And he's got Sammy Watkins. How are you a shitty quarterback, or how are you a shitty team if you have those weapons on your offense? It's damn near impossible. And so I think that those guys just don't get enough credit, and everybody's all this Showtime Mahomes, blah, 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 blah. They're like blowing this guy. But other than that, I mean, I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm going to still go with the Chiefs because of all of those weapons that he has at his disposal. So Chiefs are definitely going to take it. I don't think that the Bengals offense, even with all the, even with if they watch the film against the Pats and they watch the film against the Broncos, I don't think that the Bengals are going to be able to stop that kid with his crew. There's no way.
The only thing I'm just really tremendously going to be shocked with is this game is Cincinnati really going to step up? They've obviously showed they have the comeback power. That's usually always the big thing. Yeah, I'm picking Kansas City, but again, last year at the same time, Kansas City went up against Pittsburgh. That stopped their winning streak. This year, they go to Foxborough, stops their winning streak. The Chiefs really have to step up and prove that they're going to be a Super Bowl contender and a number 1 seed against the Bengals. If history repeats itself, however, and Kansas City ends up losing this game, then they're just going to be immortally cursed.
They already are mortally cursed. I mean, they do this every year. I do have to look at that aspect of it because we've talked about it before. The Chiefs are notorious for doing this. They get everybody up in their feels at the beginning of the season by going 5-0, 8-0. They've gone 11-0 and didn't get to the Super Bowl. So don't count your chickens before they've hatched with the Chiefs. I'm sorry to the Chiefs fans, but you've seen this time and time again. Like it's the same old story. But
to go with Trin's comment last year with Alex Smith, my memory does serve me correctly that the year that they did have a big undefeated streak, they went 13-3 with Mr. Joe Montana at quarterback, and they pissed the Pooch away in the playoffs. So, and that's a Hall of Fame quarterback. So if that's the case that it happened with Joe Montana,
it happened with Trent Green too.
Exactly. So history in Kansas City's favor is not balanced on the good side.
No.
So I think we should move to the Monday night game.
All right, let's move on over to the Monday night game. I think it's going to stop right here shortly. Yeah. Anyways, Monday night, we've got Ricky's favorite team in the world, the New York Giants, at 1-5 versus the Atlanta Falcons at 2-4, or the Dirty Birds, as they like to be called.
All I know is that if there is a show on Monday night, I will be sporting my Jamal Anderson Dirty Birds jersey. I am not in any way relying on the New York Giants at this point.
No. How does this game get pushed to Monday night?
It was originally scheduled, thinking this might have been one of those high power games, because the Giants on paper, probably toilet paper, were slated to be one of the best offensive weapons in the NFL this year. Obviously, we've seen over the last few weeks that Eli Manning has not been taking enough Geritol. He's not been wearing the proper diapers, nor has he been allowed to bring his walker out to the field.
Yeah, no, I agree. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know with this game. You're not going to put too much hope in the Giants, but the Falcons, they be fucking up lately. And
they actually have this game, okay? Giants getting 4.5. You kind of question what the half is. The Giants are getting 4.5, and the under/over is 54. I'm going to tell you, again, neither team is a great record. Julio Jones has still not scored yet.
No. Maybe this will be his day.
See, the reason why those games are split, that Atlanta's got 2 out of the 3, is the one game that the Giants won was not in Atlanta. Otherwise, the other 2 games have been Atlanta. Mr. Freeman for the Falcons got put on the IR this week, so that's kind of a big loss for them. Giants defense it's falling apart. They just can't cover everybody. And they've been lit up quite a few times. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. Although I've been burnt by the Falcons earlier this year, but I'm going to go with the Falcons.
I've been burnt by the Falcons several times. I've been burnt by I haven't picked the Giants to do much this year. And the one game I bet against, one of the games I bet against them, they won. Real quick, Trin says, as a Chiefs fan, if any of us don't say, what's this us shit? You got a mouse in your pocket? Say they're going to the Super Bowl, they're dumb. They have to win more than one playoff game in 20 years. Very true. That's very true. So I don't know. I like Atlanta's offense, but they haven't really done, like you said, they haven't really done. I'm gonna go Giants. I'm locking it in. Monday Night Football. I'm going with Sean Matry and going with the Giants.
I don't know, man. Kind of. I'm going to be watching a lot of black and blue running around on the field on frickin' Monday night. So, but I am going to be sporting that Jamal Anderson Dirty Bird jersey on Monday because normally I would rock the Giants jersey, but I'm not feeling them this week.
Black and blue, that's the color Nick Macrelli's dick because he beats it so much.
Yes, this is very, very true.
Sorry. You gave me too much of an opening on that one.
All right, so we're all starting the week out 1-0. Well, oh no, I'm sorry. Our producer is 0-1 because he picked his hometown team, the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, it's not his hometown, but it's the town he lives in.
Yeah, but it's still technically it's home for him. So, but we are starting. Alex and I are starting 1-0, and our producer is 0-1. Thank you everybody for watching the show. I know we had a lot of technical issues tonight, but we've fixed the majority of them mid-show, which is always great. This is probably why I haven't seen any of the comments because they froze too.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they did, and now they're finally all starting to show up.
Yeah, Sean Matry says OBJ is without a touchdown catch this year too.
To honestly tell you, unless there's another quarterback throwing it to him, I don't believe he's going to get one.
Man, Ricky's got the jokes today.
Give me that 4th round quarterback that they just drafted.
Oh God. Well, that's it, man. I mean, I think everybody's got a lot to ponder on. If you have go ahead.
I also can't piss on the Giants anymore until Tuesday, so that was my limit for the week.
All right, I got you on that one. So, I mean, I think we didn't have any callers today, but, you know, we are going to start incorporating that. We do have the number. I guess we didn't say the number either. It is on the screen, but 620-765-4549. Call in next time. We'll be back Tuesday. We want to hear about what you thought about the weekend's and Monday's game. Give us a call on Tuesday. And Ricky, do you got anything else for him?
There is a surprise supposed to be happening tomorrow. We are definitely doing it. Just keep track on the PIPEBOMB page.
PIPEBOMB, PIPEBOMB page, and also the Bedroom Radio. Lord knows I don't have to work Sunday, so I'll probably be drinking. Since I got the anniversary stuff out of the way, now Alex can do his proper birthday and try to, rage and wake up in a puddle somewhere.
We also do have to mention that Tuesday's episode was now the #1 viewed episode for the 10 that we've done. It got over 2,500 views, which beat the video that we had earlier in September when we first started. So we thank everybody for contributing in on that as well.
Thanks for sharing the show. We hopefully it gets bigger. We want it to grow. Share it to your friends. If your friends like football, now that we got the number, you can call in and give your 2 cents. Whether I care about it or not, we'll find out. But all that being the same, we definitely won't turn down anybody's phone calls next time. So, real quick, Trin did correct Sean. Odell Beckham Jr. has had one. It was the same game that he threw one.
No, he's kind of leveled out now at these.
So at least he does have one. So Julio Jones just can't get it. Just can't get it. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.
Stay up! Oh my God! Oh my God! 30! Touchdown!
All right, did you switch the screen over?
Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but
Because it didn't come up
here
on
we
here
are.
yet. Come on, man! The video
Well, I was not expecting to